Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation. We found that a good conversation allows us to share what's on our mind, whether current events, what's grinding our gears, or our pet peeves.
It also allows us to share our top 3, a list of our favorite things on any given subject, most of which are highly opinionated. In closing, we share a good word. Solid friendships are encouraging. Even if we joke and give each other a hard time, our ultimate responsibility is to uplift each other.
Our goal is that you'll feel like you're part of the conversation, like you were in the studio with us, and that you feel encouraged after tuning in to our podcast. It's time to join the conversation. All right, welcome to another episode of Hardheaded. Here with you today, along with Chet, Troy,
Matt.
and my son, whatever. People know me. They know my voice.
Do they, Matt?
Yeah. Chet, you're going to give us
He's
what's
got
on
the
your...
most attractive voice of all of us.
I think so.
Oh, the sultry southern...
Because it never changes. It's always
just like this.
Just
It's
like
very
this.
calming.
Calm
very
down, Matt.
soothing.
I am calm.
I am very excited right now. And then we top 3 today, top 3 candy bars. And then we're going to top it off with a good word from Troy out of the Chosen Book 2. Chet, what is on your mind, sir?
It's May, and there's some parents out there going through some stuff right now because they've got some seniors in high school that are graduating.
Oh, yeah. It's that time
in
of year.
days, like days from now.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're done with high
You're
school.
one of them.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Stone.
Yeah. Stone. Yes.
Congratulations, Stone. I knew you would make it.
Yeah. It's really funny to me. And it's not just women and men, but the differences between the people that are fearful of the next step and those that are excited about it. So we'll just ignore the overall, and I'll speak of myself. When I was ready to graduate, I knew everything I needed to know. I knew everything there needed to be known. So we're not going to talk about that,
As did I.
with our graduates, but the parents that are freaking out right now. There's some of them that are just like, I can't handle this. So a couple weeks back, Stone has chosen to go to K-State, and we had the admitted Wildcat Day. So a lot of kids that have been admitted to go get to show up, meet some faculty in the major that they have, and you get to know some of the other freshmen that are coming in, tour a couple of the dorms again, just to make your final selection on where you're going to live. And so we went through this whole deal, and then we broke up into groups, and they broke the parents into groups, and the kids were all by themselves at some other place, and they broke them into groups and went through some exercises. But one of the stuff the parents were going through, which, by the way, I find this is pretty amusing. Side note. So my parents didn't go to college, but there was nothing like this at all when I was a senior in high school going to university.
There was just like orientation.
Yeah.
And it was
Like
a couple hours.
that was like a couple of days before you started, though.
Yeah, mine was the summer before. It was like a month before.
And ours was an overnight thing.
It was days. It was a couple nights, I think.
Ours was a one-nighter.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, so I was sitting in one of these sessions, and there were 4 faculty members with the title of vice president or director. And none of them taught. They were just there about the overall experience. We're here. Like, one of them was the director of first year Wildcat experience, like the freshman integration, basically, to make sure your kid integrates into college.
Can I get that job?
All right.
This is going to be straight up awesome.
There was
This is
VP,
a funnel, kids.
a vice president of student engagement. You know what I mean? And so I leaned over to Ashley and I was like, yeah, I know why tuition's high now. Like, how many people are we paying that don't have anything to do
with actually learning,
teaching our kids something?
Right.
Oh
my
But
gosh.
anyway, they split us up, and we the room was divided into parents that only have one kid and now they're about to start college, to parents who have multiple kids, and this is your first kid is going to college, to parents have multiple kids and one of them is in college and the rest of them aren't, to parents that have kids and this is the last kid that's going to college, which is pretty interesting because what they give you some questions and you turn to the people that are, sitting beside you and you'd answer the questions and, have a pretty good discussion, but you kind of get in a, what's your biggest fear was one of the questions, so you'd have your little discussion, each group, then you're breaking down into smaller teams in each group. But then when you're done, they're like, okay, from group number one and only, like this is my one and only kid. What were some of your biggest fears? Shout them out, so they're shouting them out. And, so it just keeps going around the deal. And it's funny from a fear perspective, my kid's never going to talk to me again. Like I fear that. Like that was one of the multiple people brought that. And I'm like,
what?
Like I went to school before cell phones, right? So talking to my parents was through a literal telephone call or letters. I remember receiving and writing letters to my parents. And then, the dorm room, if my dorm room phone rang from an off campus that had like a different ring or whatever, I knew that was going to be my mom. And so like we still stayed in touch, but like how much easier is it? Like if you want to know what your kid's doing or how they're doing,
pull up their GPS.
Well, you got, text, you got
Facebook,
Snapchat,
Instagram, Snapchat,
all the,
all
what's
the
going
socials.
On. Yeah. Yeah. So, and they're worried, and what was hilarious. One of the people from my last kid is like, don't you worry. You'll get a phone call every time they run out of money. They're going to stay in touch. All right. You cut off the flow of money. The phone rings like that's.
Yeah. Well, my sophomore year, Dad showed up at my house.
Yeah. Because you quit talking?
No. Because he was about to cut off the funds.
Oh, your grades?
He saw my grades.
Yeah.
He's like, hey. I was like, oh, hey, Dad, what are you doing here? He's like, saw your grades. If they don't get up and you lose that scholarship, you're coming home to work for me. It's like, all right, I'll get those grades up.
See you later, Dad.
Are you leaving now? Okay, see ya. I got to go study.
You should have talked to your sister.
Study.
Right.
She worked in admissions and was able to look up his grades.
Oh, we looked them up.
Yeah.
I knew what they were, but
No.
that didn't matter. That did not matter.
Well, anyway, so there's that side that I think is Ashley and I are both very excited for Stone. Like we're ready for him to get out of the house and start living his life. I mean, you kind of held back when you're living at home, and that you're gonna learn. You're gonna. We're going to be, if he crashes and burns, we'll be there to help pick him up. But I mean, it's time for him to start. So we're really excited about it. But then you're meeting some parents there that are like, I can't take it, and I'm like, you're more connected to your kids now. You have an opportunity now to be more connected. Well, I mean, like even when you were deployed, you had an opportunity to get messages back to your family that weren't literally letters that had to cross the battlefield and hope that they got mailed.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it changed over the course of
while you were there.
While I was there. So it used to be letters and you would wait for getting that mail from home or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then it transitioned to, oh man, there's a computer center and I might be able to send off an email.
Yeah.
Because Facebook still wasn't
right.
Any of the social media still weren't really big yet, but
yeah,
it got easier. Or sat phone, call from a sat phone. Hey,
but if you went now, like there's, as long as it's okay from a security standpoint.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can
every day.
Yeah.
Like how's it going? Let me video chat with the girls. I mean, it's just, it's so much easier to keep hold of people.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, all the graduation parties. Like, I don't remember. Like I think there was one.
We had one like big blowout.
Yeah.
Senior graduation party.
Yeah, there's like dozens of them now. Like they're just, and they're overlapping.
Who's throwing all these things?
Well, it's not like dozens for the same person, but we've got one on Saturday that's over. It's the same time of some of Stone's friends. So he's not gonna be able to go to that one. And then all this other stuff. I found out last year, because money's a common gift for
Right,
seniors.
graduates, yeah.
Yeah, graduates are, say, hey, let's just slip a 20 in there or whatever. Well, I don't even remember having anything, when people walk up and hand you a little card, congratulations or whatever in an envelope. Yeah. Well, these big parties, these come and goes where people just stop in and say hi and whatever. Well, they had baskets where you just lay this stuff down. Well, then high school kids that were going to these parties were swiping the cards because they knew there was cash in them or gift cards or whatever.
Oh my God.
So they've started making these decorative, they look like bird houses, but they have like a slot in the top of them.
Oh, they've been doing those for weddings for years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so you drop it down in there so nobody could steal them.
You can't get it out. Yeah.
They do that at weddings?
They've been doing that at weddings.
Why are you inviting people? I understand with a graduation, you're just like, I'm sending this to my class. But your wedding, you're going to invite people that you have to have security around your gifts?
Yeah, I guess so. Because I've started seeing those about 8 years ago. Little bird cages.
Right about the time Wedding Crashers came out.
Probably so.
I don't know. That's crazy. But I'm excited for them. I hope all the graduates have a great year, a great graduation, and a good summer.
And then get to work.
That's right.
With your education.
And get a job.
To pay for your education.
To pay for your education.
So you're not in debt till you're 50.
No. Dude, debt relief. You get all the loans you want.
Oh, well.
Hey, Biden, stroke of a pen. No more student debt.
Is he going to pay off my wife's student debt?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yes.
I'm in. What do I got to do?
Matt has to actually pay for that.
Oh, okay. Matt, you write me a check?
No.
Oh, dang it.
Because all the student debt that I've paid off, can I get that back?
No.
Well, you're out of luck then. I paid mine.
Oh, well.
Who you going to vote for?
We'll get it paid down.
We're going down a path here. But
I don't know who I'm going to vote for. The jury's still out. It might be Biden.
It depends on who's up.
What was the favorite thing about your graduation? Do you even remember graduating high school?
Barely. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, because it was such like a looking back, it's just one of those parts of my life. I'm sure it was a big deal at the time, but it's such a small part of where I am now that I don't even really recall too much.
We had a banger party. I remember.
What does that mean?
It was awesome.
What'd y'all do?
Can't talk about it on this podcast.
So your parents didn't put it on?
No. All the senior class, we put it on.
Yeah?
Like all the...
Where?
It was at...
You go rent out a place?
No, it was at... I'm not going to say her name, but it was at her house.
Yeah? Her parents were out of town?
In the Dixie Garden area. No, her parents were there.
Oh.
But we...
so you had parents that didn't...
Oh, yeah.
You had some liberal...
We had a lot of liberal parents in the senior class.
Yeah.
We had a big old party there. Now that I think about it, we had two parties. We always had a pre and after party at different houses. And
after you graduated?
No, like the same night.
Oh, okay.
Pre-party, go to the party, then have an after party.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with graduation.
Well, it was like a, hey, we're graduating in a week or two, whatever. So.
Yeah,
I think we had two of those.
Yeah, I don't remember too much about it. I mean, I know we had a get together at the house, and then it was just more for me. It was just like freedom, because I wasn't planning to go to college or right away. I was like, I told them, I was like, I'm gonna take a year and just work, to save money, because we didn't have the money to send me to college. So I worked for a year, and then I took classes at Butler County.
Yeah.
And then, but by that time, shoot, I think after graduation, that's where my wife and I really started hanging out. And so that was pretty much the most important part that I remember from back then, because we went to Colorado just before she was getting ready to go off to college. And
that's when you knew.
That's when
she's the one for me.
That's when it all started. Yep.
Her family has property in Colorado.
Let me get there.
So you ever feel like, though, your life just kind of, like, you just take the next step? I feel like in America, there's so many stages, and I feel, looking back at my life, I bought into that, or I just didn't know any better. right? So go to school, and you graduate. I never thought, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to get a job. Always thought, I got to go to college.
I think that's instilled by your parents.
Yeah.
Like that's just there's all, you didn't think, oh, I'm going to church on Sunday. It's just, you just knew you had to go to church on Sunday.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I just know I have to go to college. Yeah.
Well, even when we started having kids and we started talking about homeschool and different things or no school, I'm like, I always thought you had to go to school.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Until then you start, waking up to different freedoms that you have, choices that you have.
The government has to give you permission not to go to school.
Well, depends on where you live.
Oh, okay. Whether or not it's in a motor coach or if you have a physical address. But I think, well, there's some people that have a kindergarten graduation, elementary graduation, a middle school graduation, then a high school graduation. Then you're graduating out
ridiculous.
Here. It's some kind of.
But I mean, even after college,
the cap and gown companies gotta. Oh, let's make some more money.
Oh, let's get an 8th grade class ring.
Yeah. Oh, since high school graduation rates are dropping, let's throw a ceremony for middle school.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to 3-4 kindergarten graduations.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
We didn't have a kindergarten graduation.
That's
or a middle school graduation.
But again, it goes back to we're celebrating stuff that is not.
It's just normal.
It's not a big deal. Like,
no.
Oh, you graduated kindergarten. No. If you didn't.
Yeah.
If you didn't, we got some other issues.
Well, we got held back. Even middle school. I mean, because you just float through those. I mean, at least when I was in high school, and I don't know what it's like now, but you had to at least try.
I'll tell you, the experience that we have is that it's really hard on our kids in middle school. And high school, you have 2 years that are pretty hard. So, and not a Stone like this semester for him is cake.
Well, he's got like an English class.
Class.
Well, I mean, my senior year, the first semester, I had a hard math class, and then the second semester was like, I don't even know why I was there.
Yeah.
Now I remember. That's why. I basically had all of my stuff done, and I did the same thing. So for the last half of the year, I had a conditioning class in the morning. I would go lift weights, and then I was done for the day. And then I would go to work. And so that's why the whole build-up thing just wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was already.
Oh, you don't have to go to school anymore. Yeah, I hadn't been doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not new. Like, I've been working now. I'm like,
yeah.
You mean I got to stop and I can't work today because I got to go to this graduation? Stupid.
Right.
I want to make money.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still, I like I think the high school graduation is a pretty good deal. And it's like for us, it is now it's time for you to get out of the house. Like,
yeah.
Well, not him graduating now, but like going to college, like go out.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, it's a good ceremony and a good ending. Just like the segment of this podcast.
That's how you feel about it. What do you think, Matt?
I think we should keep going. How was your graduation?
It's normal. We had a blue cap and gown. The big deal with us was, and I don't know if you can or not, there was starting to be pushback on whether or not you could pray at school events. If the school could lead prayer at a school event, so we decided to sing. The senior class sang the Lord's Prayer. So we sang a prayer, and you could do any kind of religious anything as long as it's in the arts, air quotes. So I remember doing that.
Nice.
To kind of circumvent any issues that would be there. But yeah, it was cool.
The one thing I do remember is I was really surprised when they were recognizing those who had graduated with honors. And I was one of them. I was like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, what?
You didn't have like a collar?
Awesome. No, there was like an annotation in the thing because the valedictorian got a little sash.
Oh, we had National Honor Society deals and then some cords for something else. And
yeah, we didn't.
I don't know what all that meant. And then they were all like, oh, you got to turn your tassel to the other side. I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, you just have to do it like that. I don't know
That's
why.
the rite of passage. Like
It's tradition.
You've graduated.
It's tradition, but like, what is it? You're beating up your microphone.
This thing is killing me. This pop filter you make me use here. All right, there we go.
I don't think you're going to still mess it up.
I will not.
But like, what tradition? From where did that start, and why?
No idea. You just follow along.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But then how many of you hung your tassel from the rearview mirror in your car?
Nope.
I did that for a while.
Yeah,
You would.
you're lame, Troy.
I did not.
You should have. That's what I'm saying. You should have.
No, he's lame for doing it.
I did it. He did it.
Y'all are lame.
No.
I did not.
You're the cool kid.
You know
in
why I was
in those
lame?
Jinko jeans.
I did have a senior ring though.
It was lame.
I bet you did.
It was lame because I had to hang it in my mom's car because I didn't have a car. It was hanging off my mom's rear mirror.
Oh, that's brutal.
But what are you making fun of him about? His jeans?
He is making fun of my jeans.
Oh.
He had those Jinko jeans, the ones that were real baggy that went all the way down to the
No, I wore Gap jeans.
gap. Oh,
I still do. They fit me nice, except I don't have any on tonight.
He is wearing pants, however.
for those on
Audio.
for those not on YouTube, he does have pants on.
That was good. That
Yeah.
was good.
And with that, we're going to turn it over to a commercial so Troy can get dressed. 1783, the first victory. Victorious in war, this year sees America earn her independence. At Admiral's Pennant, we celebrate victories at the end of war. 1783 is the first of many such celebrations in our nation's history. This is an elegantly refined blend of sandalwood, cedar, and tea tree. The subtle, lingering, woody scent of the sandalwood, light cedar, and the top notes of tea tree is the essence of masculinity, honoring the men who fought and continue to fight to provide us our independence.
Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave. All right, we're back. And we are back with what?
Traditionally, tassels are worn on the right side and moved to the left during a special portion of the ceremony for high school graduates.
You know, we all know that.
But why?
For college graduates, bachelor again wear tassels on right side until their degrees are conferred, then move to the left. Graduate students wear on the left from the beginning.
Why?
I'm just telling you
You're giving us the process, but you're not giving us the why. Why don't you keep looking at the why while we start this off?
All right, go for
Well,
it.
actually, yeah, you got time. Top 3 candy bars. And I'll start it off. Number 3, Nestle Crunch Bar. I like I don't know what it is, like the little rice or whatever that they have in there that just
Really?
adds a little bit of crunch to that chocolate.
They
So-
are good.
so-
I like the little minis that you get during Halloween.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Those are the
those
ones
are
that-
those are even better than the big one.
Yeah.
Because it's rare that you'll find the
What's
big.
the
Crunch
difference
bar.
between a Nestle Crunch and then that crackle?
It's basically the same thing.
It's basically the same thing, but
But
on
they're
the
both Nestle, aren't they?
But I think on that one the rice is just a little bit smaller. The crackle bar has bigger chunks of whatever in it,
Okay.
and for whatever reason, the consistency isn't as good as the Crunch Bar.
I'm not a fan. Sorry.
You don't have to be.
You don't have to be.
I didn't ask you if it was okay.
Like I like the Nestle Crunch ice cream bars. Those are phenomenal.
I like those too.
Well, if you like those, then you should like the Crunch Bar.
It's not the same thing.
It is.
One of them has ice cream, Matt.
One of them's coated with the Nestle Crunch Bar. Number 2, Snickers.
Have you had the Snickers ice cream bar?
I have.
Those are fantastic.
Those are really good, actually.
Very satisfying.
Those are super good.
Okay.
I mean, and I'm not a huge candy bar guy, so I don't just eat candy bars, whenever. But if I go to the store and I get one, man, that's tough because I just remembered another one.
Hey, what's Matt's character when he's all grumpy and he needs a Snickers?
Yeah.
Who's he turn into?
I don't know.
I
Betty White.
probably somebody like that. Somebody on Betty White's level.
Betty White.
Wasn't it Snickers that had the great googly moogly guy in the end zone that painted the wrong thing? Great googly moogly. You remember that
I
commercial?
remember that.
I remember that, but I don't know what that.
I thought that was Geico.
No, that wasn't Geico.
May have been. I don't know.
Anyway, another one that just came to mind. This would be a honorable mention. Would be Payday.
Oh, those are good.
I don't know. I don't even know. That could easily make my top 3.
I used to eat paydays at the pool you
didn't have to worry about them
summer
melting
all the time. Yeah, that's right.
It's a fantastic Southern State candy bar.
Yeah,
because you could take it with you and it not melt.
Didn't melt.
I like the Payday King. Get that big one.
It's healthy too. It's got peanuts in it.
Yeah, peanut butter.
I wouldn't call it healthy. It's got nougat.
Nougat. There we go.
Well, so does Snickers. That's why they're healthy. It's okay to get
Twinkies
Snickers. Or Snickers. I'm getting a Snickers all day long.
Snickers is gluten free.
Word up.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, number 1, which now I'm more hungry for Kit Kat or for Payday, but Kit Kat would be my number 1.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and you can't be a savage and bite through 2 of them. You've got to break them apart.
Break them apart one by one,
and
baby.
eat them. You can't just.
I'm with you.
But I like the little ones that you get too.
Yeah. Bite size.
Not as good. They're not bad.
Frozen.
But they're not good.
The Kit Kat Frozen. Kit Kat Frozen is freaking awesome.
Does it improve the little tiny ones? The chocolate to wafer.
It turns the tiny ones into like almost something that you can't bite through when it's frozen.
The tiny one, the chocolate to wafer ratio is not right.
No,
it's out of balance.
No, it's got to be the full size ones.
Okay,
but the little ones aren't bad if you're eating ice cream and you just throw a couple in the ice cream and you eat them when you're having ice cream.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not a big sweets person, so I don't get to do that very often. And then another notable mention, Nutty Buddy. And those are phenomenal frozen.
Those aren't candy bars.
Nutter butter?
Yeah.
Those are crackers.
No,
the Nutty Buddy, the chocolate wafer 2-pack. But
they
come Little Debbie.
No,
Little Debbie.
Yeah.
No, candy bar.
I guess so.
Yeah, those are way.
I love them, but have
you ever had them frozen?
No.
Phenomenal. It'll change your life. Way better frozen.
Okay.
Can you freeze the pink ones that you love?
Those are just that's not chocolate coated.
Those are just wafers.
Right. But they might be
sugar
good frozen.
wafers.
Yeah.
For 35 cents or whatever you paid for. There's probably still some of that dust around here somewhere. But anyway, I would say Kit Kat number 1.
All right. Well,
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Number honorable mention. Caramello. Huh? Y'all remember the commercial?
No.
Dude, caramellos.
I've never paid for one of those.
Those are so good.
I couldn't tell you.
4 chocolate squares just full of caramel.
I've had them, but
I'm a big fan of caramel.
They're delicious.
And chocolate. I've just never.
You need to pick one up.
It's like too highbrow for me. Is that like a Toblerone? Like the same thing?
It's not a cookie, mother. It's a Fig Newton. No. That's highbrow.
Oh, okay.
Right there. All right, number 3, Kit Kat. I'm with you. Number 2, dude, a Twix.
They're falling out on me.
Really?
And I had one a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, I used to like this more. I remember thinking that, like,
they might have changed something.
I don't know. But
the past few that I've gotten, the caramel's been leaking out of the
chocolate.
So
they've had to cut down on the chocolate,
and then it's stuck.
Inflation,
and then it's stuck to the wrapper, and I'm just like,
yeah,
dissatisfaction.
I need perfection around this for me to enjoy it because you're not that good anymore, Twix.
Yeah,
I have fond memories of Twix.
Still my number 2 though.
Okay, kind of looks like a number 2.
It does.
little number 2.
Little Amber Heard.
Howdy ho, never.
That's been a long time.
Just hanging out there on Johnny Depp's bed.
With my buddy Tally.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, howdy ho, Johnny Depp. Merry Christmas. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, number 1, Snickers, and we already covered that. So,
Chet.
All right, honorable mention. Zero. Have you ever had a zero?
I thought you were saying zero, and then I caught the look.
Yes.
Yes, I've had a zero. I haven't had enough to even.
My dad is not a chocolate fan. So, and I actually talked to your dad about this back when y'all were over for Easter. My mom would search high and low and find white chocolate Easter bunnies, because as kids we got Easter bunnies, and my mom would buy my dad white chocolate Easter bunnies because he didn't like chocolate. And
He didn't like milk chocolate.
or dark chocolate, but the Zero bar has a white. I don't even think it's chocolate, but kind of the same stuff you put over the pretzels, like the yogurt pretzel. That's not really yogurt,
Right. Yeah, I got you.
but that's what it's coated in. So that was the only candy bar that he would eat, other than paydays, because paydays didn't have chocolate either.
Right.
So anyway, that's my honorable mention. Not necessarily something that I'm gonna grab, because I'm like, ooh, but I'll eat one every now and then, just a hat tip to Dad.
Man, I just thought of one I left off the list.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Might be on Chet's list.
Yeah,
It might
maybe.
be.
Kit Kat, number 3.
Boom.
So we all have,
We all had the Kit Kat.
yeah, and you got to eat them one at a time. Sometimes when you break them and then that extra chocolate comes off from the one next to it, you got to eat that chocolate separate. And then
Yeah,
just
you
in
have
the
to
bite.
like corn on the cob
Yeah.
it.
That's right.
Stuff.
I get upset when that happens, actually. I don't know.
Number 2, whatchamacallit.
Whatchamacallit?
So it's got some of the Rice Crisp in there that's
Yep.
in your Nestle deal.
Y'all remember
but
that
it's
commercial
not.
too? Y'all remember?
No.
Y'all don't remember these jingles?
While you were watching TV, Matt and I were out like building forts and playing Marines.
Y'all watched G.I. Joe and stuff too. It was all Sunday morning cartoons.
I don't know.
Or not Sunday, Saturday morning.
Number 1, almond Snickers. Not the regular Snickers.
Man, you just brought up another one, too.
The
Gosh.
almond Snickers, which was your granddad's favorite candy bar as well. So it was like, oh, we have that in common.
See, I used to be upset when I would accidentally get the almond Snickers.
How could you accidentally get it? It's in a different wrapper.
I know, but it said Snickers on it.
And I gotta get that candy fist.
And when you don't know and you just pick it up,
When you're scratching like this, you're like, give me the Snickers.
Got any more of them Snickers?
then you find out that it was almonds and you're like, oh,
I like it. It's
I do
better.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say,
I like the fluff nougat in that is better, in
So-
my opinion.
and this may not be, well, I guess it still technically wouldn't be a candy bar.
Is it a Little Debbie?
Nope. Reese's peanut butter cups.
That would qualify in my opinion because it's right there next to everything we're talking about.
I would agree.
And that definitely should have made my list, because when you said the Easter, whatever, you mentioned Easter or something.
Yeah.
That should have made my list too.
And that
man.
was and for whatever reason, the Reese's peanut butter eggs
Or better.
are better. And I don't
Yeah.
know why,
Yeah.
but they're definitely better.
No, I agree.
And then almond Joy or Mounds. I can plow through those like crazy. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
those are pretty good.
I love those.
Those are
Those definitely are in my notable
mentions.
mentions.
very good.
Honorable notations.
Honorable notations,
Yep.
however that goes. All right. Good time. Troy.
Yes, sir.
Hit us with the good word.
All right. The good word this evening is test question. It's actually 2 words, but
I wonder if next week we're going to talk about the test answer.
we might do that, Chet.
Oh.
Oh, I'm bringing the good word next week, so I don't even know. You tell me. I'm really interested here.
All right, so John 6:5-6. Lifting up his eyes then and seeing that a large crowd was coming toward him, Jesus said to Philip, "Where are we to buy bread so that these people may eat?" He said this to test him, for he himself knew what he would do. This hit home with me because my whole life I have been a horrible test taker. From early elementary all the way
Test answerer.
through college. No, I've just been horrible. Yeah, test taker.
Yeah.
Like I don't do well on tests. I have to really study hard on tests and everything. So this was good that I got this. But in this passage, Jesus is testing Philip and asking him where he's going to get the bread. So Philip, it talks about kind of what did Philip do? And, you know, he's there with the creator of the world and he's worried about
food.
Well, oh my gosh, Jesus, I don't know what we're going to do, but you know, I'm from, I think Bethsaida or the town right over. So I'm sure he started thinking like, oh, well, I know some people there. Maybe I can just send some people there.
I know where the Dillon's is over there.
Right.
The super center.
Yeah, we'll go find some people to bring some bread from over there. Well, I'm freaking out and just trying to figure it all out. And finally comes to the conclusion that, I don't know, we don't have enough money to buy food for any of these people. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I feel like Jesus was probably like, oh, Philip, you know, it's all right. You know, go get the 2 baskets and see what we got here. Yeah. Let's work with it, you know? And so it talks about just kind of in your own life, what questions are you being challenged with in your own life? And are you relying on the creator of the world, the Savior, to help you out, perform miracles in your life? Yeah. Or are you just trying to go out about your day-to-day life, trying to answer the questions on your own?
And sometimes he's asking you the question for a reason.
Right. Just like he was.
For you, not because he needed the bread, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was asking Philip, that's why it's called test question, because he's asking him to get a response out of him. And hopefully a right response. Yeah. But it's
definitely a learning moment.
Yeah. Always.
Well, Jesus knew the answer before he asked it, but he asked it
anyway
to prove a point to Philip.
For his benefit.
For his benefit.
Yeah. Thank you. That was a good word.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. We appreciate you guys joining us this week, and we will see you back next week.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.